Welcome once again to 52 Pickup, a podcast about my favorite comic book and one of the greatest collaborative achievements and arguments for the benefits of a collective universe in the history of the medium. I'm professional comic book expert Alex Jaffe, and with me this week, as always, is someone I've been such a huge fan of for years. And the fact that I've gotten to collaborate with them on a project of this caliber and scope was something I could hardly even imagine 2 years ago. And I'm so grateful to be here in the recording with them right now, this and every episode. Gita Jackson.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Gita.
Hi.
Hello, my friend.
Hi, friend. Hi, Alex. Someone who I was my first and only pick to work on this project with.
Yeah,
you sell yourself short, I think. You are so knowledgeable, so fun to talk to, and simply an encyclopedia of facts in a way I could never possibly hope to be. It's been a really fun time undertaking this huge project for the past 2 years. But this is the end.
This is the end. We did it. If you're listening to this in the feed, you probably just heard number 52. We have wrapped up a podcast about every issue of this half a century of comics.
Yeah. We still have one bonus episode coming out. So if you, for some reason, haven't subscribed to, or maybe the bonus episode has already come out, we haven't recorded it yet. But if you, for some reason, haven't subscribed to Aftermath.site by this point, this is your final reminder that we have bonus episodes available if you subscribe to Aftermath. And you do that by going to aftermath.site/products. It's my beautiful baby website. It's now 2 years old.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
There's going to be a party. It probably already happened by the time you hear this. I'm sure it was great. I was there. We had a good time. Mm-hmm. Someone probably cried. I'm not going to say who.
I don't know who it could possibly be.
But here we are.
I wanted to, there's no comic to discuss, except the entirety of 52 is an entire project. So we're going to, this episode, just take us through our final thoughts on the series, on its impact, on us, and then we're gonna play some fun games.
Yeah, party games, because this is our celebration.
Absolutely. If this is not a funeral, it's a wake. Jaffe, dear friend, let's just do it because I think we have the same answers for this question.
Right.
Favorite storyline and least favorite storyline?
Okay, favorite storyline, it's definitely that one where they brought in Super Chief, that Native American superhero for 2 weeks.
They did that and then he dies.
Speaking of which, I brought this up on the last episode. Grant Morrison recently did a Reddit AMA to promote their upcoming Batman Deadpool crossover. And somebody asked him about 52. And they said, oh, that Super Chief thing, that was fully me. And I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah, no one had any doubt. That was not in question whatsoever.
Yeah. Let's see, other storylines. I really liked the saga of E.S. Pete, one of the the guys who got the Everyman project.
Remember the Brutalist costume design for that one guy?
Yeah.
Who just quits? I love that. That was so funny. I love Fearless here showing up and not ever saying a single word. That is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
God. But you know what your favorite overall storyline of the
it's
6
obviously
main
the
storylines.
question.
It's obviously the question. And
it's the main one.
giving it real thought, really sitting down and thinking about it. It is the question. That is the story,
Right.
the core storyline of the whole thing. It's where it begins and where it ends. And it's the reverberation from 52 that I think has been most permanent. The things that happen to Renee and to Vic and to Kate in that series are still relevant to their stories today.
Right. This series was the launch pad of a character who had her own CW show for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
They recast her in season 2 as an original character, but it was Batwoman all the same.
Yeah, and a Batwoman that was taking up the lineage of a previous Batwoman, who wasn't going to take up the lineage of a Batgirl. She was Batwoman 2, specifically. And there, that is, Kate Kane is now very much, like, she's in fucking Wayne Family Adventures, At
New York Comic Con just a couple weeks ago, Greg Rucka, our buddy, went on stage and told everybody he's back on Batwoman. He's picking it back up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Man, so much good news from DC. They really won Comic-Con. If in terms of the Marvel and DC Comics output. I'm subscribed to both the Absolute Universe and the new Ultimate Universe subreddits on Reddit. And the only thing people are saying in both subreddits is DC was really eating Marvel's lunch. I can't believe they're ending all of the Ultimate books after 2 years.
Right.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't understand it because, like, from what I understand, and I'm not a Marvel guy, there was some idea that, like, it was Jonathan Hickman who wanted to end it. And he's like, why are they ending it? So I don't know what's going on.
I think it was a massive game of chicken, right? Because of Hickman's history with the Krakoa stuff. He had a story he wanted to tell. They didn't want to end the Krakoa era just yet. And so he was like, I'll leave. And it sucks because now he won't get to tell the story that he really wanted to tell. So I'm sure what he said is, I have a story that will take 2 years and I want to tell it. But then it was really successful. So now he doesn't want it to end.
Another thing they announced at Comic-Con that is really keeping the spirit of 52 alive is they announced this new batch of titles they're calling DC Next Level, which is a bunch of characters who don't normally get their own titles getting their own titles next year. One of them is Batwoman. Deathstroke's getting a book. Firestorm's getting a book. Zatanna's getting a book. Lobo's getting a book. Etrigan's getting a book.
Etrigan, fuck!
So, yeah.
Every time I think I'm not like a real DC fan, I hear something about Etrigan and I'm like, hang on, Etrigan?
Etrigan was recently featured in my friend Joanne Starer's Fire and Ice book.
Oh,
and there's
perfect.
There's this bit in it that I really love, where Etrigan finally admits that the only reason he does the rhyming thing is because they're in hell and he knows it annoys people.
That's so great. That's so in character, and I love that.
Yeah.
What a little troll. Okay, I think I'm going to move up one of the other things I had, because I also know the question to answer our least favorite. What is your least favorite storyline, Alex Jaffe?
I mean, it's obviously the space hero one.
Yeah, shit.
It's the one that feels like it's the least collaborative. All of the others feel like all four writers plus Keith Giffen are jamming together. Whereas the Space Heroes were like, this is specifically Grant's thing to figure out. And it was a thing Grant, I don't think, particularly wanted to do. It was kind of an assignment to make space interesting. Yeah. Which they would later come back and try in earnest on their Green Lantern run, which I think you might really like if you tried it out.
Sounds like my shit.
It does fall under the idea that, like, the only way to tell stories in space is through DC is with the Green Lanterns or with the New Gods.
I mean, they just had two incredibly really compelling like places to tell space stories with frameworks that are really interesting, right? There's the biblical framework of the New Gods, and then there's the police procedural framework of the Green Lanterns. So you get the operatic level and the street level simultaneously. There's nothing that needs to be filled in.
You're 100% right. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I came up with this right now. So that's just like... But it is true that New Gods is this operatic level, and then a police procedural can show you the many different situations with people. I mean, that's why people like Joe, like the new Green Lantern from Far Sector, because it's just a police procedural and it's compellingly written. This was the first game. This is going to be our transition to our games, but I do want to ask you, because we both don't like the Space Heroes, what would you do differently if you were trying to make space more interesting in the DC universe?
It's a hard question. I mean, I guess what I'd do is Dan Abnett in 2018 wrote this really underrated book he called Justice League Odyssey, which was, it started under Joshua Williamson and felt pretty misguided until he took it over and straightened it out, where it was Jessica Cruz, Cyborg, Azrael, who else was on? Starfire, in space with like a reborn Darkseid. And there was this whole storyline about how they had rediscovered this lost sector of the universe. And everything kind of fell off the rails until what Dan Abnett did was he converted everyone on that team into soldiers of Darkseid. And Jessica Cruz had to recruit a whole new team of people to work with her, including Orion and Blackfire and Dexstar, the cat Red Lantern. Such a great duo there. And then he brought in a bunch of weirdos like Space Ranger and like a bunch of people you've completely forgotten about from the 50s, which on the face of it doesn't sound that much different than the Space Hero Odyssey, except for the fact that he's able to establish actual stakes. Like the moment that the Space Heroes storyline actually worked was that one Lady Styx issue where it like actually makes you feel it.
Oh my God. So it's wild. Our answers are also Abnett related, but go ahead.
So like the way to do it is to not make it feel like tourism. It's to make it feel like the thing they are in is real and it matters and it has stakes to them. It's not like space is so big. It's this thing is happening in space and it's really scary and I'm having a hard time processing it. But through Jessica, Jessica Cruz in Abnett's story, who is all about processing fear and anxiety, we're going to face this like we face any unknown. Mm-hmm. And that's what space stories are about. It's what Star Trek told us. It's about confronting the unknown.
I am currently reading one of Abnett's Warhammer 40K books, and it's fantastic. And what makes it fantastic is that it does the thing that Green Lantern often does well, which is commit to the format. It is a mystery novel. It's a cult thriller, and it is written in, I am sure, what the same style as like a Reacher book is like. Yeah. But it just takes place in the 40K universe. And so everything feels very real and very lived in, but you get to describe really creatively imagined alien worlds simultaneously. And all the jargon is still there. And what I think you are so right that they had one issue that really sung with Lady Styx. And it's because it imagined a complete society and then also imagined a complete conflict that was happening on the society and didn't touch Earth. Right. They needed to bring in more space characters that live there, more than just Lobo. And they needed to either create new ones or find other reasons for people to be in deep space like that. I think that doing the Voyager thing really shot themselves in the foot. Like it just, you have to then, the only time it felt interesting is when he created a world and then he destroyed it immediately.
The best issue of Robert Venditti's Hawkman was this one issue that took place on a planet we've never seen before, where all we saw was this one war between these two factions on this planet that went century after century after century. And after every generation, Hawkman kept reincarnating as a person on a different side of the battlefield. And we just got to see that multiple generation war from both sides. And it just made that planet in 20 pages feel like a really real place. And that's what you got to do. You got to give us time to live there, which unfortunately is not going to happen in a book like 52 because you have to share that real estate with all those other stories. The reason that Lady Styx issue worked was it was the only thing that happened in that issue.
Yeah. It would have worked out eventually if it was allowed to be a Monster of the Week kind of thing. But he was sharing space. That's the reason I had to share space with other things. So you couldn't even visit that location every week.
Yeah.
So
you cannot develop space in a backup feature.
No. I mean, I think that's the real answer. Because when I go ahead and then read Blackest Night, space suddenly feels very busy, right? Space suddenly feels very populated. And that's because every single page of Blackest Night gets to be about space. The reason why the Abnett cosmic Marvel stuff hits so hard and is so cool is because it's this epic saga that takes place over multiple different books, introducing multiple different characters and their different stakes. Space can feel big and complicated if there's heroes in space that don't go to Earth, that have never heard of Earth. They don't give a fuck about Earth. They just are in this space society that Earth is not really a part of.
And that's Morrison on the Green Lantern. Like, see, if you give me 12 goddamn issues to talk about this, I can talk about it.
Yeah.
I can't do it like 6 panels at a time.
Yeah. No, there's just not enough room. Say, make space complicated. It would have, and maybe in the format of the book, you could just have them charting a way towards space and then brushing up against several different mysteries so that you're planting seeds for other writers. But that would feel really unfulfilling to read as a story.
I mean, I will say, though, that the space they did have was underutilized.
Yeah, that was
every other time we went to space, it was the space heroes talking about how next time they were for sure gonna do something in space.
That's so true. It's like crazy. Next time, something's gonna happen though.
Yeah, we're circling Lady Styx's base. We're here right outside the perimeter. It's gonna happen.
God, okay. I think that it just is a bad idea. Like, I think you could have maybe done more, but I don't think there was any saving this storyline. It's just incomplete.
What's cool about the 52 storylines that work is that they're clearly about characters and stories that the writers themselves are passionate about. I don't think Grant Morrison was interested in revisiting Buddy. If they were, it would have shown on the page. I think they finished Buddy's story. They didn't have to go back to it.
Literally, Buddy died, came back to life, met Grant Morrison, and then just continued to do superhero
What do you
stuff.
do from there?
What do you do? There's nothing else you can say about Buddy. That's fine. That's fine. It was the only reason anyone was excited for that storyline, but it just turns out that story is over.
Right.
The end. God. Okay. Let's quickly just give our takes on each of the other storylines.
Something I've been thinking about is contextualizing many of the stories we've seen here, especially the Question story and the Elongated Man story, and even the ISIS story, in what was happening in DC leading up to this point,
All right.
Which was the tone shift of Identity Crisis and Infinite Crisis, about the idea that like heroes deal with mature problems, that death matters. And it was obviously something that was reacted to with very mixed reactions.
Yeah.
But I think with those heavy events in the rearview mirror, like clearly at the forefront of people's minds of like what DC looks like in the mid 2000s, you have people like Greg Rucka and Mark Waid think, well, if we're going to deal with death on a real level in these comics, what does that actually look like? And you can see three different perspectives on that in the Black Adam story, in the Question story, and in the Elongated Man story. And I guess the Booster Gold story, kind of.
Yeah. It is in a roundabout way. And then the following Booster Gold run ends up being about mourning your friend, mourning a loss.
It's about acceptance.
Yes.
Greg Rucka and Keith Giffen talked about how the Question's death was directly inspired by like people who in Keith Giffen's life he lost to cancer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if we're going to talk about like this difference between a comic book death where Superboy Prime rips you in half and like a real death where like you have to deal with your parent dying, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Elongated Man just having to deal with the consequences of being thrown into this story that's way more serious than the kind of like
more
silly
of a
Silver Age stuff he was designed for.
Response to the change in tone towards death, where it's like
being stretched beyond your limits.
Crazy. And then there's also what's interesting about the Black Adam storyline, the Jeff Johns approach here, is that the death as a superhero murders and death as an agent of politics, and something that should be and could be in the story addressed through world geopolitics because of how powerful superheroes are, that would end up defining every single aspect of the MCU for like a decade. That idea. It's not the originator of that idea, and he is drawing from Watchmen in a huge way, as he continues to do all the time. But it was a popularization, it was that idea for normal people, not for extremely highly well-read people that think about this all the time, but for people who pick up a comic book and think, why is it that other nations allow Superman to exist?
The story of Superboy Prime, as Jeff Johns wrote in Infinite Crisis, was about a fan of DC Comics lashing out because he was upset about how bleak the world had gotten. And then right after he's defeated, in the midst of becoming the very thing that he was railing against, right after that, the next thing Jeff Johns writes is this Black Adam story, which is bleak as hell.
Yeah.
As if to say, Superboy Prime has lost. This is where we are now. Maybe his grievance was legit, but we're not going to address it by making things lighter. This is just the state of comics.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the world that they were in, the attitudes in culture post 9/11, where things did feel very bleak, you can see why he would lead into that bleakness. Culture just was there.
On the other hand, the other major Jeff Johns story in 52 is the Booster Gold story,
Which
which is
is
the most
so different.
superhero-ass story
Yes.
of the entire book.
It is, I think, the perfect balance. It is what I like about Johns when he's really good. It is that perfect balance of the two.
Right.
Of the gut punches and the seriousness, like treating Ted Kord's death as if it is something that happened to a real person, and how a person might react in the face of that, and how selfish and ugly they might be. And then it's like something that James Gunn does frequently in his adaptations of these things, is to just take these problems and just be like, but how would a person act? Not a superhero.
Right.
How would a person act? It is so much more interesting to me than the Black Adam storyline because it is a more interesting feat of writing. How do you take someone that's patently ridiculous and tell a story that makes you want to cry for them?
I think when you take them together, what the synthesis is saying, if Geoff Johns has a follow-up statement to what he established in Infinite Crisis, it's that yes, comics can be bleak and they will continue to be bleak, but comics can be so many other things. Comics can be anything. It is not a genre, it is a medium. And even within this tiny sliver of comics that is the superhero comic, we can tell every kind of story you can imagine. Here are 7 different ones all in the same book.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? That's really nice.
It is beautiful. It's the thing I love most.
Man. Yeah. No, I mean, thinking about this book contextualized in that specific moment, you can see, I mean, comics are allowed to be reactionary because they're reacting to the guy that just came right before you. Right. So you are not only bouncing off of the ideas that someone else is handing to you, but also you're thinking about, how do I strike a different tone? How should I create a story that feels continuous, but also feels like different, markedly different in my era of it? I think if you look at some of these stories that are for legacy characters that are more familiar to audiences, like Steel is really like a reintroduction to this character. It's a reintroduction to a character a lot of people have not really thought about seriously since the death of Superman. And it's saying that what it is doing is additive. It's just like there is more to Metropolis when Superman is not there. There are other heroes here and also other stories you can tell. And you leave that storyline with this sense of it does the thing that the space heroes failed to do, which is Metropolis is a very lively, real feeling place.
Yeah, I think we talked about ranking the storylines, but
we did that last episode, so we don't have to rank them. So I just want to hear what your take is here. Like, what do you feel, just in brief, about each of these 7 storylines? We've talked about them more generally.
Yeah, I ended the last episode by talking about 52 as a refutation of the great man theory, and I think that's most present in the Steel storyline. Yeah. Where it's just this one dude who rises up to fight Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
That, like, it doesn't have to be Superman. It can be anybody.
Yeah.
Once we see one person do it, we can all do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's something really magical about that. At a lot of points, the Natasha and Steel relationship doesn't quite land, but the spirit is there. The
effort they put into it also is appreciated, right?
Yeah.
From a lot of writers who probably already know they're not very good at writing teenage girls and aren't good at writing Black teenage girls. I will say where the story lands and where their characterization ends, I like that as a basis for how would we treat these characters going forward. You've got Natasha, who is really now is cemented as like extremely responsible, absolute inheritor of her father's or her uncle's. It's weird. I'm sorry. Who's her dad? Who's Steele's brother?
Don't worry about it.
Sorry, it just cracks me up every time.
It's like Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We don't talk about who their dad is.
How are they related to each other? How do they know each other? We don't know. Just don't worry about it. Yeah, you end up, it is a very typical kind of teenage story. So like, it's not something that feels disrespectful to her, but it is also, we just end up in a place where she's proved herself and we no longer need to have a storyline of Natasha proving herself. She's done it in a big event comic, so now she can just be herself. And the Steel also, like, he gets a new life. He gets the Steelworks just gets repopularized. You can take this character now and say, I'm just picking up the thread that was now left by someone not that long ago. And you can see also I mean, there's, of course, the thing that we all wish had been followed up on, which is the elongated man ghost detectives thing. You can see where so many of these threads are being left for other writers. The fact that they leave the book with hooks planned for other people is just something that I think is also really magical.
I should say just straight out that Natasha Iron's father is a villain who appears in the Steel series, obviously. Of course, her dad's a supervillain.
That always happens.
His name is Crash. And the thing I liked about him is that every time he would show up somewhere, he would say, "My name is Crash. This is my gun." And then he would shoot you.
That rocks. Wait, that's so good.
Yeah, that's Christopher Priest, baby.
Sometimes that motherfucker, I still think about the film, that scene in, God, was it The Ray? I'm not sure. But it's just a bunch of film nerds in a drive-through at like Taco Bell who are all about to get murked. And there's one that just keeps chanting, "Scorsese, Scorsese, Scorsese." And it's like, it's always, as it always was, as it ever was. Like, it's always been like this.
Like that scene in The Simpsons where the kids are all going, "Barton Fink! Barton Fink!"
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. It's such his approach to dialogue, he's so naturalistic with it. He is a great observer of how people are, which is, I think, what I have to say about Christopher Priest. But also just knows cool black things.
Love his Deathstroke run.
Oh, man.
Cool book. God. The Science Squad story is just the most fun. The Science Squad story is where Grant Morrison went when they were sick of writing the space stuff.
That's
like, let me do something I want to have fun with.
Absolutely. That's so true. You can tell that the Science Squad story, one was an obligation for him, and one was the thing that he wanted to do. And that seems very, very, very clear with Grant Morrison.
Like, Grant Morrison has clearly fantasized about rounding up all of their most creative, insane friends, getting high in an island together and engineering doomsday.
Absolutely. Like, that scans with everything I've ever heard about Grant Morrison.
Right.
It's just fun. If there's any, I feel like a lot of the times I look at this book and I'm like, each one of these storylines exemplifies one specific thing that I love about comics. And the thing that I really like about the Science Squad is that it exemplifies what I love when comics get really weird and stupid. I love it. I love all the zany gags.
I love knowing which metal is liquid at room temperature. It's very important to me that a comic tells me that.
I'll never forget that ever for the rest of my life. If there's one thing you can ask me, and my debt's bad, you can come to me and I'll say, "Mercury it is."
Mercury. That's your rosebud. Mercury.
God, I just...
That's Dan DiDio's rosebud.
Oh, man. True.
That friggin' guy.
No.
This series is a testament to good editors and bad publishers.
Yeah.
What happens when you have dissonance in the ranks and creation of art as an act of rebellion against the people who sign your paychecks.
What happens when you have so much clout that you can tell someone to fuck off?
Yeah. It's so weird to say that 52 feels punk. But knowing what it was supposed to be and what they did with it, it does feel like a punk book made by the A-list celebrities of the comic writing world.
I mean, yeah, it feels like cashing in all your chips is what it feels like. It feels like,
exactly.
I make the big bucks, so you better get off my fucking neck is what it feels like. And I'm sure it was intense to work with 4 writers who you can't tell shit. You know,
right.
I was using intense, like, as euphemistically as I possibly can, right? You know, like, when you're working with, like, a clout vacuum that is that massive, I am sure that it was also irritating to have to work around these 4 people that just don't want to do what they're asked. But also how... It's like Megalopolis, you know? Not Megalopolis. Not
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis, the Francis Ford Coppola self-funded, weird as fuck movie that he made. You don't get to see money spent so frivolously very frequently at all on people who really have it, capital I it. It just doesn't really happen. So it's always interesting to see what people who are this creative do when they're just like, okay, I can tell anyone that I want to go fuck themselves.
Something I haven't really talked about on this show is that there kind of is a precedent to 52. And it's the Triangle era Superman books, back when the death of Superman was happening. Everything after kind of the John Byrne era of like the 90s to like a solid decade through the entire 1990s. Superman was ostensibly 4 titles: Superman Action Comics, Superman Man of Steel, the other one, and get off my nuts, okay?
Yeah, you'll remember in the dead of night.
Adventures of Superman was the 4th
Okay,
one.
thank you.
Yes. Okay, and they all had different writers, but it was a thing where they were all trading off week after week, where you could not just follow one comic. It was a continuous storyline being told every week, not just for a year, but for like 12 years. Like Roger Stern was doing that shit. Louise Simonson was doing that shit. Jerry Ordway was doing that shit. It was just some really cool ass comics. And it wasn't like great every time. It was like a soap opera. It was very much like, it's not going to be a gem every single week, but we're going to keep on doing the thing and creating comics, creating a continuous sustained storyline this way, in a way that is fascinating to me and is arguably even more ambitious than 52.
Yeah.
And if anything, 52 laser scoped that ambition of the Superman Triangle era into like a hyper beam of like, these are the stories we're going to focus on. Even though we think of 52 as this sprawling, impossible thing, there's this behemoth right behind it we have not even touched on.
I was literally just deep in the Wikipedia article for a Triangle era Superman. Triangle numbering era.
That was when I started collecting comics. I started collecting comics with The Trial of Superman, which was a story after Superman came back from the dead, where he was being held accountable for the crimes of some ancient Kryptonian. And Alpha Centurion was a big part of it. Steel was a big part of it. Cyborg Superman was a big part of it. And it was like I was thrown right into this story where I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Incredible.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And that's the way to get into comics.
Yep.
The most poisonous question you can ask is, where do I start? Because there is no good answer to that. You just kind of have to jump in.
There's literally no good answer. Pick up a book and read it.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand what's happening, go find the volume that happened right before and read that.
The process of discovery is the fun part. That's
Yes.
what makes DC and Marvel unlike any other creative work in the world.
I mean, ironically, I was about to compare it to crate digging if you're a vinyl fan, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it is so fun to, like,
That's fair.
grab a random vinyl, listen to it, and think, man, this guitar player's got some cool riffs. Look him up and see what else he played on, you know? It is incredibly fun just to follow that web of influence and, like, mutual connections. I highly recommend it. If you like a book, go see what books that author is reading and read those books. You'll probably find a really cool book.
You ever see that meme comparing Western comics to manga, where the left side is Charlie from Always Sunny at the in front of the cork board saying, well, you could start with Batman 2011 or The Long Halloween or Year One. And then it goes to the Chad on the right who just goes, issue 1, bro, which is great for getting a story. But what they don't tell you is that's one guy's story.
Yeah.
It's one guy who writes that manga. The cool thing about the comics is the collaboration.
Yes.
There is no one picture of Batman. There are 1,000 Batmans.
Yes. And I mean, if you ask a lot of those mangaka if they would like a chance to write a single issue Batman story, what do you think that they would say?
Pay me.
Yeah, they're like, first they would say, pay me, please pay me. God, I need to take a break. The second thing they would say is I agreed to your contract. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. It's
Right.
Batman. It's
Right.
Batman. Ask a toddler. They know who Batman is. Like
Everyone knows who Batman is.
everyone
Yeah.
knows who Batman is. That's one of the most potent symbols, that bat outline, to ever exist in the history of our culture. It's wild, you know? The comics, by being this collaborative medium, have created big characters that are bigger than the comics themselves. And that's beautiful. We have now talked for so long. I'm so aware of what time it is. I've got my eye on that fucking clock. I wanted to ask, let's lightning round the next few, because I want to get to the games.
Let's get to the games.
Favorite character. 3, 2, 1.
The question.
Booster Gold. Sorry. For me, it's Booster.
Okay, that's fine. For me, it's Vic Sage. He's my ride or die.
Yeah, I wanted to do the Yeah, go ahead.
Coming into this book from Justice League Unlimited, it felt like I was starting with the death of King Arthur. And I loved that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so cool going in, like, I'm going to find out all about my favorite character, and they kill him. And then I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go back to his actual series and see what happens there. And in the first issue, Denny O'Neil kills him.
Oh, God. That's hilarious.
The dude cannot stop failing, and I love him. I love him for it.
I love that boy. I love Booster. And even though I think his story wasn't as good as The Question in Renee, I love Booster. That's my Blorbo from my shows. Original flavor. I love him. And it took the scenes of him in the final issue for me to really remember how much I love Booster Gold. He's a pathetic loser, and that's how I like him.
All due respect to Dan Jerkins, all due respect to Giffen and DeMatteis, this is the book that defines who Booster is as a character.
Yeah.
This is his most important turning point.
Yeah. He actually experiences loss and then has to become a good person, but in a way that no one can ever know about.
He has to be the greatest hero you've never heard of.
Exactly. And this is, for every adaptation in every series that comes after this, it's going to be defined by that emotional arc. He does his growing and learning in private, and to the world he is a clown. And I think that's very fun. That's just a very fun dynamic to work with. And it is really, really, really pays off here with the reveal about Nova and the reveal about Mr. Mind. It just, delicious. You forget about Booster by the time he shows back up. Like, that's just really fun shit.
I will say it does feel a little bit like Jeff Johns stole all of this from the Ben Stiller movie Mystery Men. But I think I can forgive that.
Yeah, no one saw Mystery Men, so it's fine.
I saw Mystery Men.
Except for Alex Jaffe.
It's a good movie.
Okay.
Kel from Kenan and Kel can turn invisible, but only when no one's looking at him. It's fun.
All right. What is your favorite scene in 52?
Favorite scene in 52? Jeez. I'm tempted to say the revelation with Ramakrishna on
I
Nanda
knew you were
Parbat.
going to fucking say that. And I think I that totally scans for you. Completely makes sense. It's some of the best art in the books out of all of the books. Like it's beautiful, and it is. Renee's been through a lot, and if you are a Gotham Central head, you'll understand this character like they're a real person to you.
Yeah,
the work that Rucka does on showing Renee's emotional arc, especially showing her hitting rock bottom and like learning how that she has to like keep living after you hit rock bottom, is like the heart of it. It is really beautiful.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
To see a character who is like not a traditional superhero get to go through so much. It's like John Constantine and Renee Montoya. There's not a lot of other people on that list.
John has been through some fucking shit.
Oh, I've been rereading the Garth Ennis run recently.
Man.
Oh my God.
Garth is not nice to him. Garth does not treat him with respect.
You shouldn't treat him with respect. If you treat him with respect, you're not writing Constantine.
That's true. You're writing some
the
other
man
schmuck.
exists to be bullied.
Every single day of his life is his dick smashing appointment. That's it. Yeah. I was going to disagree with you. I think when I think about it, the final scene of Booster saying go long and throwing skates, that is really good to me. But I think you are right that the best scene in this comic is the Nanda Parbat sequence. Yeah. It is so human when I think about it. It touches me like on a real human personal level. And it is a good enough story, the story between those two, that I think that you could excise it from this book and the rest of the circumstances, and it would still be just as good. But it's better that it's part of this book.
The one that is tattooed in my mind forever and stands as, I think, one of the best sequences in any comic book ever published is that 9-panel grid in the first issue where the Question is peeling that bat decal off the
that's how you
signal.
Reference Watchmen, right? Like, that's how you do it. You take that 9-panel grid and you break down an action into these tiny little parts, so you feel it has that cinematic feel that the 9-panel grid is supposed to give you.
If I could have one piece of original art from any comic, that would be it. And I know one of our listeners has it right now, and I feel normal about that. I am fine. I'm perfectly fine that you have it and I don't. It's okay. It's perfectly okay.
He looks totally normal, too.
I'm normal about it. Esper loves when I shout into the mic like this.
Oh, boy. Do you have any last takes for the Blackboard? I think we talked about that last, I keep always saying issue for the podcast. I think we
Gita, I have so many last takes for the Blackboard.
Oh my God. Please tell me. At least one.
I have so many. There's so many things I didn't get to. One of them was that Superman thing. One of them was, there's this thing I kept I want to give credit where credit's due. Throughout this show, one of my most valuable resources for research was a blog called 52 Pickup, which was published as the comic was coming out in real time, week by week, by a gentleman by the name of Douglas Wolk, who wrote a book called All of the Marvels, which is a narrative explanation of every Marvel comic that has ever been published. Dude is an echelon above me in terms of comic book expertise. I've been dying to get him on the show this entire time. Wasn't able to, but I want to give Douglas his props. I would not have been able to do this show without his work. There's been something I've been meaning to, speaking of contemporary blogs, there was something I kept wanting to bring up on this show week by week, but just couldn't find it because it's been completely removed from the internet Wayback Machine, so I couldn't reference it. But as 52 was coming out, there was this very popular satirical blog called The Journal of Ralph Dibny. And it was this story, and it was like dissecting each issue of 52 as it came out from Ralph's perspective.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Hey, had the worst day of my life. I'll update tomorrow. Hang on, update. Today was actually the worst day of my life.
It was extremely dark and extremely dour, and it was all about reflecting like where DC had been since Identity Crisis. And the writer of that blog, Al Ewing.
That's so fucking funny.
Yes.
Oh my fucking God. Wow.
Right.
You can do anything. Never kill yourself. Never kill yourself.
Never kill yourself.
Al Ewing was posting shit posting about DC Comics on the internet and then became one of the best comics writers of all times. Never fucking kill yourself. No. Shit post until you make it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So you may remember that last week what I put on the Blackboard was the original meaning of 52. Where Mark Waid teased in the back matter that like originally it wasn't supposed to be 52 Earths, it was supposed to be something else. And I came up with this theory that there was supposed to be this team of 52 heroes. So I have Mark Waid's email address. I was like, why don't I ask him? And I gave him my theory. And I said, hey, in the back matter notes for the 52 collected edition, you mentioned that before the idea you collectively arrived at that the secret of 52 would be 52 Earths, you had another idea, but you'd never tell anyone what it was. We just reviewed the final issue of 52 for the podcast, and I want to share my theory. I think the secret of 52 was originally supposed to tie into the theme of the series itself, that the DC universe is so much bigger than its core heroes. The 52 is a team, a consortium of the B-listers and C-listers who quietly, without celebration, keep the world running. The Booster Golds, Animal Men, and Questions of Our World. How far off am I? And Mark Waid wrote me back a couple days later, just saying, it's as good as any, because 20 years on, I no longer remember what the fuck I was talking about. Sorry, pal.
That's really funny.
God bless Mark Waid.
I mean, thanks for trying. Like, literally, thanks for trying.
You gotta ask the question, man.
Yeah, that's what you were telling us the whole time. God.
I want to do.
Go ahead.
I want to do a quick. Where are they now?
Please do. And then I think we should move on to our games. Honestly,
yes.
We've been talking about the other two prompts that I had on my little show notes.
Yeah.
So let's do where are they now. Let's move on to games.
Here's where are they now. Grant Morrison recently rescinded their AI stance after public pressure following the Reddit AMA, said they would stop doing their AI stuff on their blog, and has taken some time to reconsider their position. So character growth still happening. They're going to write Batman Deadpool. Greg Rucka's coming back on Batwoman. Mark Waid just finished writing the new history of the DC universe, which is this 4-issue timeline of everything that has ever happened in DC history, and is writing a great run on Action Comics right now. Jeff Johns, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He started his own indie publisher, and we talked about it in one of our first episodes, but I haven't heard from it in a while. Taylor Swift is in an open fight with Charlie XCX. So you literally do have to choose a side between Brat or Swiftie now. You can't be both. Booster Gold, currently the centerpiece of the DC KO event, which is quite bad. He's secretly hosting the spirit of Darkseid, who's possessing his body. Dude can't catch a break. Steel is married to Lana Lang now. Both of them moved to Steelworks out into Smallville along with Natasha. They're running it together. Black Adam is the main villain right now in Saladin Ahmed's Justice League spinoff, Justice League Red. So he's still being the big man in black. Ralph and Sue Dibney, basically retired from comics. They are alive. Gail Simone brought them back about 10 years ago.
Well, if they're not going to be written about anymore, at least they're alive.
Yeah, and they're just living in the suburbs of Gotham. The last we saw of them, they were running like a halfway house for reformed supervillains. A fun life. Animal Man is working every day on the Justice League Watchtower with Renee Montoya, who is the chief of security there, along with Jaime Reyes, Ted Kord, and Batwoman. As seen in previous guests, Alex Segura's Just the Question all along the Watchtower. Vic Sage is around and at large in Hub City doing something. Starfire is trapped in the same Teen Titans cycles as ever, just doing the same old Teen Titans stories. Can't escape that. Cassie Sandsmark is regrettably trapped in Tom King's Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Adam Strange is going to be featured in a Justice League one-shot next year by friend of the pod, Jadzia Axelrod.
And I know that we are on the record Tom King haters, but I do think if you want to learn his Adam Strange book is literally all about why he feels incredibly guilty for supporting the Iraq War. That's all that it is about. That's the only thing
it's Sheriff of Babylon in space, Gita.
Yes, yes. Absolutely. Sheriff of Babylon has this young naivety of like, well, everybody thinks he can solve the problem, blah, 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 blah. But Adam Strange is more first person, like, I was deceived and I've committed atrocities. That's like what it is. So if you want a little Schadenfreude,
I can't wait for him to write Jon Stewart in Lanterns. I wonder if he has something to say about Zanshi. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Moving on to where else? Where else are they now?
Dr. Savannah really hasn't been the same since Jeff Johns started fucking with the Marvel family in the New 52. Made him a magic guy. Tio Maro is still hanging around doing the evil robot guy thing. He's still awesome every time he shows up. Dude never changes. And in 2020, Dan DiDio was fired from DC Comics during a pandemic for trying to spearhead this event initiative that nobody liked. And the last thing he ever did was finally write his dream Metal Men comic. And it was pretty bad. And finally, at New York Comic Con this year, I kept seeing ads for a new anime with an opening song by Mori Calliope.
Wow! Good for her. I know that music is her real passion. We learned so much about Mori Calliope.
I mean, we started covering this because she did the ending theme of Suicide Squad Isekai, if you'll recall.
I do.
It's been so long.
Could not possibly forget.
Yeah.
God, I was actually just looking at who's writing for or working with Jeff Johns on Ghost Machine, which is his independent publisher. Brad Meltzer is one of the main guys on that.
Brad Identity Crisis Meltzer.
Brad Meltzer, you guys. But also Peter J. Tomasi, so I guess it's a little 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
Thank you for the updates on the locations of everyone's favorite writers and
characters.
And
just
one
all
guy.
The celebrities of this podcast.
Yes, exactly. so real. But now it's time to play some games.
I love games.
And I think I have Crackship Crisis first, but I think that we actually have to do Brat or Swiftie.
Okay, we got to do Brat or Swiftie because,
it's the last
you have
one.
To choose now. They're at war.
They're at war. And I have to tell you that Charlie is winning. She announced a movie. She's just showing up at events and being beautiful, and she said nothing. Yeah. She posted about Palestine. It fucking rules.
Of course.
Whereas
she's just vibing.
Yeah, she's just living that life.
Yeah. I've been deep into Hades 2.
I love Hades 2.
Have you been playing Hades 2?
I've been playing Hades 2 so much.
There's this bit I love in like when you fight Scylla. After you beat her a few times, she starts singing this song at you called I'm Gonna Claw Out Your Eyes and Drown You to Death.
It's a great song. It's so catchy.
About how obsessed you are with her when it's clearly the other way around, and that's just what I think about with Taylor now.
Yes, that's what her
Taylor
sounds just
like. Scylla from Hades too.
That's pretty much right. I am going to claw out your eyes and drown
you to death.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's so good.
All right, Brat or Swiftie?
Brat or Swiftie, let's do it. Let's get the whole crew on record one last time.
We're starting with the cast of the question. Vic and Renee. Vic, we've already identified as being a Swiftie.
He's a Gaylor, yeah.
Because he's a Gaylor. And
right.
Renee, I think, meets more lesbians that like Charlie. Yeah. So she probably is into Charlie de facto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Any comment from you?
My comment is I don't think Vic actually likes the music of Taylor Swift.
But
he more sees it as a mystery.
I think that's so true. Like,
I'm trying to understand it.
Why is this woman so popular?
You're right.
It can't be the music. No, it's because she's secretly gay.
How is she this popular with this midden outfit? There must be something happening.
Yeah. It must be nefarious. I have to look into this.
Their true purpose is sinister.
Okay. Booster Gold, starting with Booster. I think he's a hardcore Swiftie.
Yeah.
Because he's not cool at all.
I think, again, because he wants to understand the market. He wants to like this woman appeals to more people than any other artist in the world. I want to know how to channel that. Doing
the Travis Kelce thing before they dated, where he keeps talking about her in every interview. And it's like, I'd love to go on a date with Taylor Swift, except Taylor would reject him.
Of course, right away.
Right away. She would shut that shit down immediately.
Booster Gold?
Booster Gold? And then, she wouldn't even write a song about him. That's how
he's literally a football player.
I know, right? Touch Me While My Boys Play Grand Theft Auto, a real lyric by Taylor Allison Swift.
Lord.
Rip Hunter. What do you think?
Oh, boy.
I do want to tell you that Charlie has a song that's called Constant Repeat and another one that's called B2B, which stands for back to back, and it goes back to back to back to back to you. Anyway.
Yeah, then that makes sense, but I think Rip Hunter is so far in the future that both of them sound just incomprehensible to him.
I think that is also correct.
Yeah.
Where maybe Charlie's music sounds more similar to music of year 4500 or whatever.
Yeah, I think it sounds like 1920s. You're my little chickadee.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Put your little hand in mine.
That's what Charlie sounds like to him.
Yes, that is what Charlie sounds like to Rip Hunter.
Skeets also a massive Swiftie. Skeets.
Oh, sure.
Skeets operates a lot of Taylor Swift bot accounts on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's what he does when he's waiting for Booster.
Yeah. He likes watching the chart numbers go up and down.
That's what
he gets the enjoyment.
That's so true. He's just like, I opened
following the box office.
He's constantly playing her singles on YouTube in the background while doing other things. He's like, Skeets, why is that information taking so long? Oh, let me close some tabs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm using a lot of bandwidth to make sure that Taylor goes to number one.
Right. Posting in the comments, who's here commenting in 2025?
Yes, exactly. Okay, from the Steele storyline, Steele does not know who either of these women are.
No.
No. Absolutely not. There's no way. And Natasha is listening to SZA. That's what's happening here.
Yeah. Steele listens to Charles Mingus, and that's it.
Yeah, Steele is still listening to Jay-Z solo albums. That's what he's into.
He's gonna be devastated when he finds out.
Yeah, and Natasha is listening to Cowboy Carter. That's she's made cowboy boots for her mech suit.
Oh sure, with the spurs.
Yeah, exactly. She's so excited for Cowboy Carter. She's out here. So any member of Infinity Inc. that we remember, they're all Swifties. That's what I have to say. Especially Hannibal the Cannibal.
Hannibal the Cannibal, for sure a Swiftie.
Yeah.
In a really creepy way. He thinks the songs are about him.
Yes. He's trying to steal her hair right now.
The one who, Harmon, who died because she was on a speed drug overdose.
Oh no, she's a brat.
She's a brat.
She's absolutely a brat. She was bumping that whole time.
she was literally bumping that.
Bumping that.
She was that's what she was singing as Blockbuster ripped her in half.
That's so true. Oh my god. Should we do a little key? Should we do a little blah? Lex Luthor.
Swiftie.
He is evil.
He's really a fan of her private jet consumption more than anything else.
Oh, so true. He loves how self-interested she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like how unabashedly self-interested she is.
Right.
He wants to meet with her to compare notes. He's trying to poach her lawyers right now.
The fact that she writes, commodifies songs about all her exes is something that he can really get behind.
Oh, he loves that. He's like, have you seen my pocket dimension? You could put Jake Gyllenhaal in there if you want.
He's got a notebook of like half-written lyrics about Superman.
It kills him that he's not a decent singer-songwriter. He keeps trying to get his people in contact with her people so he can give her some ideas for anti-Superman songs.
And they'll make it work at some point. She's just busy.
I think so. I think so. I'm sure
they'd make time for each other.
There is this time when Taylor Swift had a tour. Maybe it was for Reputation, maybe it was for something else. She was just bringing on random guest stars every night. So
yeah.
The only thing I remember though is someone making fun of her, like just doing a silly like Divine joke that was like, tonight we have a special guest, Gigi Hadid and the Blair Witch. Like, tonight special guest, Lex Luthor. Would make sense. The Science Squad.
Oh boy.
Will Magnus.
Yeah.
Brat or Swiftie?
Brat, for sure.
Yeah? He's a little... Explain your argument for me, please.
I think he's not familiar with either, but if him hearing Charlie XCX for the first time would go down for him, I think, the same way that I did hearing Charlie XCX for the first time. Like, there's something about this that really resonates with me. That, like, kind of feeling disconnected and disassociated with the world.
It appeals to the autistic mind is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
It's also, she uses such industrial sounds that I think he might also just get some enjoyment out of trying to identify where all these sounds are sourced from.
Yeah.
A lot of weird clinks and bleeps and blops. And I'm pretty sure, here's something that makes sense to me suddenly. Will Magnus is also into modular synths. Yes. Like, absolutely. I'm sure he has a SoundCloud with all his little modular synth sounds, and they all sound like Wendy Carlos. Like, that tracks. That tracks to me.
Everyone on Science Island is really into Yes.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Some of them also like Rush, for sure.
Oh, Rush for sure.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. And
prog rock for days.
God, I bet they listen to a lot of Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all strike me as prog rock fans. And Taylor Swift is just not anywhere close to that. T.O. Morrow, I think, might be a Swiftie, though.
T.O. Morrow might be a Swiftie. I kind of think he's a parrot head. I think he listens to Jimmy Buffett.
I'm 100% sure he's been to multiple different Margaritaville locations.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that is true. I loved his little Hawaiian shirts. He was on Island Time.
Right. Cheeseburger in paradise. Well, he's like designing the poor horsemen of the apocalypse.
We need to make this canon. I'm sorry. Yeah. This has to become canon.
Dr. Savannah only listens to like Wagner and like, oh, Fortuna, that kind of stuff.
He might be into Rosalia because she was a classical flamenco musician before she became a pop star, and she released like an experimental flamenco album. But I think that's as close to pop as he gets.
Yeah. Dr. Savannah got into Kanye West after everyone found out.
Oh my God,
Kanye
yes.
West.
He loves post-Nazi reveal Kanye.
Yes.
And he doesn't like any of the old stuff. The most diabolical position to hold.
I'm a big fan of Kanye West, but not his music.
God. Egg foo.
Oh, Lord.
Can an egg listen to music? Or would the bass shatter them?
Yeah, Charlie would be dangerous. Fortunately...
Taylor Swift is the safest music for him.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is so alkaline that I think that would be safe for egg foo.
Yeah. Dr. Time, just for fun.
360, 365.
That's true. Although clocks do play an important part in the Taylor Swift mythology. She often uses the position of clocks as hints in albums about what's coming next. And she is always doing this Easter egg thing where she's like signaling towards the future or referencing things in her past.
So Dr. Time is a superposition of both.
Yeah.
That's why he's a villain. He can't choose.
Absolutely. Veronica Kell is the biggest brat of the entire universe.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know how many songs about cheating on your significant other Charlie XCX has written? It's like more than is probably healthy to think about too much.
Listening to Charlie is how she got through that island.
Absolutely. She was listening to that every day and on massive amounts of cocaine.
Yeah.
Elongated Man, Ralph, and Sue are both Swifties, but they like her country stuff.
Yeah. I think they would like Charlie if they knew about Charlie, but they for sure don't know about Charlie.
No, and they're not going to find out. Who's going to tell them? Who are they going to meet?
Dead now.
Yeah, they're dead now.
Yeah. What do ghosts listen to?
Yeah, the old-timey 1920s stuff.
My little chickadee.
Oh, I've got to do
You're my Clementine.
No, Ralph loves like Debut and Speak Now. He loves the song Love Story, and he sings it to Sue sometimes. That's it's a love story, baby, just say yes. And he does like a crazy rubbery dance, you know. It's very cute in the movie. It hits, everybody starts crying. Isis, Osiris, and Sobek.
Isis is for sure a Swiftie because she is like 100% USA, America, Iraq war coded.
That's so true. And she is also, yes, absolutely. Osiris is just like a nice boy. So I think it's similar. Like he just listens to radio top 40 and she's top 40 all over the world.
Black Adam does not listen to music in English. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care for it. It doesn't interest him. That's 100%
It's a dirty
true.
language.
He finds it's the language of the oppressor, and he will not participate in it. He will not willingly put it into his brain. Sobek listens to Charlie XCX.
Yes.
Space Heroes. Adam Strange. Brat or Swiftie?
Adam Strange?
Yeah.
Swiftie.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not edgy, actually.
No.
It
reminds him of home.
Yes, because it's so blandly Earth-like, you know? Like it could be, she makes music that sounds like it comes from America.
Yeah.
And like from white middle America. No matter how old she gets, there's always going to be another album that sounds like it's made for mini malls and shopping. And she will be the producer of it. Animal Man, Buddy Baker. I think that he is a Swiftie because he is a little girl. Yes, he has a little girl, and it reminds him of his daughter. For sure. Another person crying while listening to Love Story. Yeah, that's him.
Starfire, though.
Brat. There's no way she doesn't wear any clothes.
No.
She's in that club that Charlie is friends with her.
Oh, for sure. They know each other in real life.
Yeah, she came out during the Grammy performance of Guess. Like, there's just no way that they're not friends and they don't know each other, and she's not always hearing about some fuck-ass shit that Dick Grayson is doing. Like,
that boy is still with Barbara Gordon? What's going on?
Has he seen you? Let's do another line.
God, yeah.
Oh my God.
For sure. The hardest core Brat of all these. Cassandra Sandsmark, obviously a Swiftie.
Yes.
Forever a Swiftie.
It's just like she's turned into someone who's a perpetual victim, which is also the narrative of Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
I want to give the Swifties out there some credit. Red is an incredible album, and I love that album. And I think the song Red specifically is really beautiful, and it's gotten through me through some shit.
There you go.
It's just that I don't worship celebrities.
No.
I try really hard not to. I'm obviously a really big fan of Charlie XCX, but I say that while also acknowledging that she can be really annoying in some ways and that I don't know her on a personal level. So yes, Taylor Swift, fine musician, and now we know which of these characters are fans of hers. Definitively. Yeah.
We didn't do Sobek.
Oh my God. What? I said Sobek listens to Charlie.
Yeah, okay.
You know, the other people in the family are Swifties, so he has to be listening to Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah, his drugs are just eating people.
Yeah. He's like, that song Mean Girls is one that he is, that's about Dasha from Red Scare. He's like, yeah, this song is really great. This one speaks to me.
Oh, and that's everybody. We did it.
Yeah.
What's our next game, Gita?
The next game, we should play Crackship Crisis, where you have to randomly find.
I go to the random article selection on the DC Wiki, and we try to figure out how romantically compatible each of the two characters who show up are.
Yes, please.
Let me see if I remember how to do this. Okay, let's do it. All right. I don't know what this is. It could be cool. It could be bullshit. All right. We have Batman and the Joker.
Sincerely,
a popular ship.
That is,
yes.
I mean, yes, obviously people ship it. Do I ship it personally? No, but also I acknowledge why people would, because they're obsessed with each other.
Yeah. Next we have Dumb Bunny from the Inferior Five, who is like a parodical 70s superhero team. And her thing is that she's super strong, but she's a stupid blonde. And the other character is the Spectre.
The only character I don't think you can ship Dumb Bunny with is the Spectre.
Yeah.
There's like very few characters that I wouldn't ship her with, and I could not see the magic somehow.
Yeah.
But the Spectre is one of them. Oh, the Spirit of Vengeance and a dumb blonde? Don't think that's going to work out.
No. That's how you get Taylor Swift. Our next is Dove, the original Dove, the one who died. Hawk's brother, and Kite Man.
Wow, I'm taken aback. I can see that somehow.
Oh, yeah?
No, I can see that, because one's responsible and one's really stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you've got, there's this Instagram account I really love, this man named Darshan, and his whole thing is, he's like, he'll show a shot of his boyfriend being like, "Hi, I'm Samuel. I planned this dinner and I'm paying for it." And then it reverse shots to Darshan and he's like, "Hi, I'm Darshan." And that would be their relationship.
This is a fun one. This is Barry Allen, the Flash, and a character I have never heard of until just now. A Silver Age quality comics character named T-Man.
Do I think Barry Allen would date a trans man? No.
That's what I'm asking, yes.
I don't think he would, actually. I think he's low-key transphobic. Sorry.
Unfortunately, I see it.
Unfortunately, he's just too old. Like, he doesn't get it, you know?
Oh, boy. Jim Starlin's Gilgamesh 2 and the Aqua Girl from the mid-2000s.
I'm so sorry.
Marina
I just
Marquez.
love that comic books have given us the sentence, Jim Starlin's Gilgamesh 2.
Yeah! The sequel to Gilgamesh we were all clamoring for.
God, okay, so Gilgamesh 2 and...
Marina Marquez, the mid-2000s Aqua Girl, when they gave Aquaman a spunky girl Latina sidekick.
Oh, man. She deserved better.
Yeah.
I just don't know who they are, right?
No.
I don't think Gilgamesh 2. Gilgamesh 2? There was one Gilgamesh and then there was a second one.
Yeah.
It's just
this one's
really
in the future.
funny. Oh, there was a Gilgamesh in the future? The future mesh. It's Gilga future.
Gil of the future.
Oh my God. 4 issues.
Yeah.
And no one really wanted to do anything else with Gilgamesh 2, it turns out.
One more. Our last one is Black Adam and the Flash villain, The Top.
Let me just Google what the Top looks like really quick.
The Top is a guy, he wears a stripy outfit, and his thing is that he can spin really fast, but also his name is The Top.
I mean, Black Adam is a bottom. So that
is he?
Absolutely. That man wants to be penetrated.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does. Why do you think he's so
that
mad?
That dude folded real hard the moment ISIS showed up.
That's exactly right.
He's like, "Sorry, guys, I can't play International War anymore. My girlfriend doesn't want me to."
That's exactly correct. He's a big softie. And he has a muscly exterior, but the top will top him.
Yes.
He'll spin really fast. The top him.
Spin him right round. And that's how if you want to play Crack Ship Crisis at home, all you have to do is go to dc.fandom.com/wiki/special:random and then pick whoever's on the cover of the first 2 comics that show up.
Okay, so I do remember how to play Remember That Thing, but I just don't have any good ideas for what things to remember for me to vaguely describe. And if you help me brainstorm, then that defeats the purpose of the game.
You want me to help you remember that thing? Gita,
oh my God.
What are we even doing here?
What are we doing? It's just recursive.
It's open office hours. What I do in my downtime and my professional time, I suppose, is that I run a column called Ask the Question on DC.com, where people ask me whatever questions they have about DC Comics, and I answer them, as I do for you on every episode of this podcast. You can ask me whatever you like by going to the official DC Discord, where I'm in the Ask the Question channel, or just hitting me up on Blue Sky. I'm alexjaffe.bluesky.social. Whatever you want to know about comics, it's my favorite thing in the world to tell people about comics. So I'm just going to plug myself. If you vaguely half remember a comic or a concept from a comic, he will be
able to tell you what it is.
I have been able to find so many half remembered panels of things people think about from their childhood. If it's like a story from like a House of Mystery or something, I can't help you. Like if it's like some like obscure anthology thing about a character who never appeared anywhere else, that you might be on your own there. I don't know shit about the guys who aren't Sergeant Rock and Sergeant Rock comics, but 9 out of 10 times I can probably help you.
Thank you, Alex Jaffe. But let's move on to our next game.
What's our next game?
Our next game is the Fantasy Hero Draft for our idea of the 52.
Gita, I went super overboard on this, and I literally put together 26 draft picks so that we could have a 52.
Wait, okay, you need to tell me all 26 of your draft picks, and then I'll see if we can possibly get up to 52.
Okay, yeah. Number 1 is Ragman.
Yeah.
I've got Deadman.
Yes,
Deadman's
absolutely.
Fascinating.
I just read the Rom V issue in Gotham Nocturne where Deadman shows up.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah.
And it's so fantastic. And also he's in Blackest Night hanging out with Damian and Dick. And it's just, Deadman's a blast. We love Deadman.
Deadman rules. He's so good in Blackest Night. I've got Shift, the weird Metamorphose spinoff from Judd Winnick's Outsiders. I love that guy. I've got Honest Abe, the character who showed up in one issue of 52 that we asked Mark Wade about.
Yes.
Number 5, I got Light Ray, my most underrated new god, low-key Orion's boyfriend.
Yes.
We've got Connor Hawke, my baby boy.
Yes.
We've got Mera, who doesn't get enough credit. I love Mera.
No, she fucking does not. Go ahead.
I got G.I. Robot, a new fave for life.
Yeah.
Carrying him with me in my heart wherever I go. I've got Monkey Prince, Jean Luen Yang's Journey to the West reinterpretation for DC Comics, who's a really cool character. I got Bronze Tiger, another cool martial arts guy. I've got Captain Atom, specifically in a series where he doesn't blow up this time, because that's the only thing people know what to do with Captain Atom.
Yep.
I got Cassandra Cain, because she has to be on there.
Yeah, if anybody's like part of a secret group of heroes, it's Cassandra Cain. That's just...
Exactly.
That's what she does.
I love how Kelly Thompson is writing her as like the ideal Batman in Birds of Prey right now.
It's really great.
That's who she should be. I've got Wild Dog, a great Max Allan Collins D-lister from the 80s. Who, like, the whole concept of Wild Dog is you didn't know who Wild Dog was. And there were all these, like, civilians in the comics. Like, any of these guys could be Wild Dog. Who's Wild Dog? And I think that's a really cool concept for a superhero comic where, like, the whodunit is who is the vigilante.
That's so cool. I like that.
Yeah. I got Sarah Lance from Legends of Tomorrow. Gotta bring her in.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
Man, what a good show.
It's not, but it's great.
It's a bad show, but it
is not
really
a good
amazing.
show. It is a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I've got Clayface in there because I've got a big soft spot for Clayface after James Tynan's Detective Comics run. I got Enchantress in there, one of the most underrated DC characters. She's the Hulk, except instead of getting super strong, she gets super magic. That's really cool. We got Jessica Cruz. We got Helena Bertinelli. We got Killer Frost. I think they did really cool things with Killer Frost, both on the CW Flash and in the Rebirth era DC books. Steve Orlando's Justice League of America is really good with her. I put Pandora in there. Pandora is like this mysterious figure who is lurking in the background of every comic of the New 52.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like this big secret that revealed that she would be something or other.
It never really went anywhere, but I think you could go somewhere if you really wanted to. This is when I started running out of ideas. I put the Revolutionaries on there, which is a cool super team of like super terrorists, but for good, that Tom Taylor created for his Suicide Squad run. I put Hardware on there. I think the most underrated character from the Milestone comics. I put Cynthia Reynolds simply because she desperately needs a new code name. I put Xanthi Cho in there, the best character from when DC tried to create a bunch of new Asian superheroes a few years ago from Spirit World. I put Absolute Wonder Woman on there because I just want to see her hang out with everybody else. And for my last one, I just wrote, fuck it, the Question again.
I mean, he would be there is the thing.
Yeah.
This is a secret society, so he would be there.
Yeah.
Right? That makes sense to me. I've got some ideas immediately that stick out to me. We are picking third stringers, weird people, bizarre people of varying different popularity levels. They show up for maybe an issue or two, and we're always filtering through new members of the 52 because there's so many of them. So what about characters that like Anima, which I always thought was a good idea.
Yeah.
But showed up for like 2 issues of Teen Titans and then died.
A bunch of those Bloodlines characters would be good for this, like Gunfire.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anima, I just really like this idea of playing with because you didn't get a chance to go down that route of the Jungian stuff, that you could have a lot of fun making her super fucking weird.
Yeah.
Along those lines, what if there's another alien from the Shade the Changing Man universe that is a part of the 52?
Another guy from the planet Meta, like an original.
Yes. So there's just like every once in a while, there's just someone from the planet Meta that shows up and goes through their own Shade the Changing Man experience. Let's, Vertigo books that have been abandoned seem like a good place to go to draw from here, because you can just create a new version of them and not have to deal with the Vertigo stuff,
like what Cecil Castellucci did with Shade the Changing Girl for that young animal.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about, actually, with Shade the Changing Girl. I think for that reason there should be more magical characters in here too, like the Stranger.
Like Phantom Stranger?
Phantom Stranger, yeah, like people like that. Zatanna should probably be a member off and on, you know, when she doesn't get called up to the big leagues, she's happy to hang out in the shadows with the 52.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, that's where I get stuck. Like, it just requires, for this book to be interesting, it's basically Dial H for Hero. But instead of
put one of the Dial H guys in there. Put Miguel Montez in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be so fun. So instead of there being a physical dial that you dial and you become that hero, the idea is that there's a conspiracy that can't actually be revealed to the public. The 52 is there to take care of it. And there are all these heroes that are too freaky to like live in society.
Right.
But man, Freakazoid should be there too.
Not a DC character.
Oh, but he should be.
But the Creeper is basically him for reasons we've talked about on the show.
Yes. The Creeper should be there.
Yeah.
All these characters that also aren't popular enough to get their own books. Like, it just is a nice way to refresh characters. Like, what if Static is like a member of the 52?
Right.
And he just, it's just something he does on top of his regular heroing duties. So you might need somebody with electricity powers, and then they go through their roster and they're like, oh, Static is probably free.
The way we're describing this reminds me a lot of known sex pest, but still admittedly a genius, Warren Ellis's Global Frequency. If you ever read that.
I mean, yes, known sex pest, but unfortunately very good and influential in comics, Warren Ellis. That was a really wonderful idea.
Yeah.
And something that Global Frequency, unfortunately, is a really good book. And it's an expression of this idea of that anywhere you go, there could be someone that's on your side.
Yes.
Essentially. And that is here to help you. And they won't do it in a big way, in a flashy way, but in a way that's specific to your problem.
That's 34. That's most of 52. I think that's
most
good
of 50.
enough.
Tracy 13 should probably be a member.
Tracy 13, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. Speaking of characters from other comics, from like weird stuff that are never used again, Danny the Street from Doom Patrol.
Sure. Danny the Street could be their headquarters.
Oh my God, wait, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I'm not just your headquarters. I'm also a member.
Yes, that would be the best. I would really enjoy that. God, Resurrection Man also. Yeah,
I love it. That's a good one.
Yes. What if Jonah Hex was part of an ancient, an oldie-timey version of the 52? An
oldie-time, maybe.
Yeah.
I could put Jonah Hex on there as a time-swept correspondent.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe like a Freedom Beast.
Oh.
Like a Buana Beast's successor.
Yes, that would be really, really good. I would really, really like that. Are there any other talking animals we want to join to the team?
Talkie Tawny.
Talkie Tawny should be a member and the other ones should not be.
Yes.
So the other rest of the Marvel family should not be members.
Only Talkie Tawny.
It's just Talkie Tawny. He's the only one that wants to do anything with it. Gosh. The Detective Ape.
Oh, Detective Chimp?
Detective Chimp.
Okay.
What do we think? Yes or no?
Well, there are 2 Detective Apes. There's Detective Chimp, And then there's Angel and the Ape.
I was not talking about Angel and the Ape, just because you knew I wasn't. But
yeah, I knew you weren't, but I had to do it to him.
Yeah, you did.
God, I really like Stitch, who is Dr. Fate's non-binary apprentice, who's like kind of like a ragdoll. Speaking of which, let's get Dreamer on there. Let's get Galaxy on there.
Oh,
Let's get some trans heroes on this team.
Yes. Oh, Galaxy and Dreamer would be so nice. I would like that very much. I think that would be very nice.
We're at 44. Less than 10 to go.
We can do this, actually.
We can do this.
Power Boy wasn't actually that interesting.
Power Boy sucks. Fuck Power Boy. He's not allowed. Power Boy is literally not allowed. You heard it here first from Alex Jaffe. I will allow the second Power Girl, Tanya Spears, who was like, she was kind of like Power Girl, Karen Starr's intern in the New 52, who went on to have a really interesting role in Priest's Deathstroke book. And her deal was that she could get really big. And I love that. Yeah. Specifically the second Power Girl, Tanya Spears. That's a good one. That is a good one. Gosh, it's hard to create a superhero book with 52 members of it. I think that's probably why it's never been tried. Let's get Secret back in there from Knights of the Round. Of course. Yes, Secret is obviously a member because her name is Secret. Let's put everybody, let's put Shining Knight back on there too. That's true. What about Clarion the Witch Boy? If we're going to go back to that well as well. In fact, actually also Bulletier. Yes. Which means we now have 3 of the 7 soldiers on this team. Okay, so no more 7 soldiers after that. Yeah. I think then the rest of them aren't really relevant either. We have 3 left. 3 left. I'm going to go with Black Orchid. I was trying to remember that. That's an old Vertigo book that of my friend Connor Goldsmith. As long as we're talking old Vertigo. Yeah, and my friend Connor Goldsmith always swore up and down secretly this was the best Vertigo book. And I have to finally read it. Miss Martian, yes. McGann. I love her. I love Megan Mars. Hello, she's my Megan. Sweetie pie. And then this is the last one. You want to put Booster Gold on it? Yes, I do. Because he has to be part of the secret society. Yeah. Because everything good he does is secret. Booster Gold and Vic Sage are the 2 guys who come back. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And your fave and mine. Rip Hunter is a member in the future, but he's only a member when they call him to be a member, essentially. It's either Rip Hunter or Jonah Hex. You can't have both. They alternate in the same spot. Yes, exactly. Where if you go to the past, you're probably going to meet up with Jonah Hex, but if you're going to the future, you're probably going to meet Rip Hunter. So that's how it works out. There's this great bit in like Brian Michael Bendis's Batman universe, which was one of his, a really cool 6-part Batman book he wrote, where Batman shows up and Jonah Hex like, great, another time traveler. Like they're always coming back to the Old West to meet Jonah Hex. Like half his adventures at this point are just some guy showed up from the future again. But that's how it would happen, right? It's like everybody wants to go see the landing on the moon. There's a huge surge in the U.S. American population during the moon landing because so many space travelers or time travelers keep coming back to like be there. We did it. We drafted 52. They said it couldn't be done. I mean, that's the second really good comic book idea we've come up with during this show. I think it's more like the 4th really good comic book idea we've come up with. They should just let us run the asylum. They should let us do it. I don't know why they aren't. And I think they should pay you specifically hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that. They should. Yeah. I would do it for $100,000 of dollars. Just singular 100 of thousand. You heard it here. It's a bargain. Yeah. Absolutely. Reach me up. Hit me up, DC editors listening to this show. ajaffe52@gmail.com. That's my real email address. That's definitely him. Yeah. Reach out to him. Reach out to me. As the last thing we do for 52 pickup, other than the bonus episode we have yet to record. Yeah. It's time to ask the questions. Yeah. Jaffe, let's go to the mailbag one last time. Let's go to the goddamn mailbag. I rounded up all of the questions that you sent me in this past couple weeks as I told you we were wrapping up the show. Here's everything you had to say. I want to read out some of these messages. These were absolutely beautiful, so I want to get to as many of them as possible. This first one's from Nadia. Hi, Gita and Alex. Before I get to my question, I want to say how passionately I love 52 Pickup. I found this podcast through my Aftermath subscription right after I decided to get into comics. It's been such an enjoyable and informative on-ramp into what I'm sure will be my hyperfixation for a long time. I've got my friends to listen to it, and we're having a blast going through 52 together. I took your advice on not worrying about where to start and just jumping in with comics. Great results so far. However, as someone who enthusiastically reads the IMDb trivia for every film I've ever seen, I found myself wanting an equivalent for comics. Some sort of primer on the real-world history and conditions that impacted the comic I'm reading. If I had just read 52 on the DC Unlimited app, I'm sure I would have enjoyed the story, but I would have missed learning what a ridiculous feat of project management it was, how the creators' past work influenced their decisions for 52. How this followed from Crisis on Infinite Earths, how real-world litigation and corporate decisions impacted storyline choices, and other trivia added so much to my reading experience. Here's my question for y'all. What resources exist for learning about the real-world history of DC Comics? Are there any that you recommend? I hope that you both get a nice break once you finish the 52 read-through, and I also hope that we get more podcasts like this because it's been such a bright spot. Hoping you're well, Nadia. How do you learn about DC Comics, Gita? What are your resources?
Number one is we are in an incredible age where comics writers and artists are incredibly available to you. And a lot of them do not mind answering questions if you ask politely.
Yes, you can go right to the source.
Go right to the source, ask, be nice,
Yeah.
Genuinely be nice, and respect when people say they can't talk about something. But we have never lived in a better time for just being able to fucking ask people things. And it's so great.
Sometimes you don't even have to ask. A lot of it is just following comic creators on social media.
Yes.
And they will talk about it because it's the thing they care about the most.
Yes. 100%. Yes. I mean, I always know when something is going on with DC management because I watch a lot of comics writers get really mad on
Yeah.
my timeline. Like, I always know first because I follow them. I do think that trade reporting on this industry is non-existent, more or less.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of attention paid to the industry moves, even though it is part of one of the most these are the most valuable properties in America in a lot of ways. Other than Mickey Mouse, it's Superman and Batman.
Right.
But there are books that are valuable, at least about the oldest histories of the creations of the Marvel and DC. Some of them are worth looking at. And there's also a lot of these writers and artists that are come from the earliest genesis of these companies have written about their own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
What's very funny about, what's his name? The artist of Watchmen.
Dave Gibbons.
Gibbons has written a memoir in comic book form, and there's an index in the back if you just want to see his opinions on different things.
3 books I would recommend specifically for learning about the Trinity. Superman, an unauthorized biography by Glenn Weldon. The Caped Crusade, also by Glenn Weldon. And The Secret History of Wonder Woman by Jill Lepore. All very insightful works as to where these characters came from and how they shaped our culture.
Absolutely. And there is a history to follow, but it's mostly like a folk history. There's the closer and closer you get to the modern era of comics, the less and less reporting is, and especially long form book style stuff, is dedicated to these companies and these creators, which I think is a mistake. But that's part of why we're here, to document the things that we remember of these times.
A lot of interesting books about comics are long out of print. Like Paul Levitz wrote a really fascinating book about the first 75 years of DC Comics, but good luck finding it. It's hundreds of dollars. The reason your parents think of comic books as a valuable commodity is because they were inherently disposable at one point. People threw them away. So there's so much about this medium that is lost because we didn't know to preserve it.
Yes, pretty much exactly. So I just felt the crushing weight of the responsibility of actually going back and learning these stories and document them. That's what that pause was.
Gita, since before we did this podcast, I always called you my favorite comic book journalist. I can't wait to see what else you write.
It's still not going to be, it's going to be something I follow, is how much these creators get paid versus how much money these movies fucking make, right?
Yeah.
That's always going to be something that I am going to think about and pay attention to, because money going to the people that are deserved it, the workers that made these things, is one of my number one most important like journalistic interests is the flow of money and the way it gets taken away from the people that need it the most. You watch all these comic book creators die in poverty with insane medical bills with open GoFundMes, and then the movies that are based on their characters make millions and millions of dollars. It's ridiculous and it makes me furious.
Next question from Jeremy.
Yes.
Gita and Alex, I just wanted to say thank you for this fantastic podcast. The first few weeks of school are always really rough, but getting to listen to 52 Pickup during my commute or between lesson planning and grading has been a bright spot as I get caught up. I really thought that Seven Soldiers would be what you covered next, but at least you persuaded me to finally read those books. Frankenstein was probably my favorite, and wow, did they do him dirty in Creature Commandos. Really disappointing that such a brilliant and eloquent character got turned into that idiotic monster. James Gunn, you get to make this one mistake, but don't do it again.
Do not ask people about what he did to Peter Quill. Don't ask them.
I also read Identity Crisis, and it is so much more unhinged than any summary could do justice. I knew about Jean walking on Sue's brain, but I didn't know about the flamethrower.
I know, right? I'm sorry. I'll let you finish reading.
Shout out to my colleague Mr. O, who was a newborn when I was in high school, but now is my peer in the social studies department. As a fellow enthusiast for comic books, he let me know about your show, but he's not caught up yet, so we'll see when this letter gets read and when he hears it. Also, shout out to Brian Cronin, my favorite guest, because many years ago, during my first year as a teacher, he provided me with scans of a bunch of comic book covers from World War II when I emailed him a question related to a lesson that I was planning. I want to talk about James Gunn's adaptation of Frankenstein. It's not DC's Frankenstein. It's a take on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yes.
I don't think it's fair to judge it by the metric of Grant Morrison.
And it's mostly to use the Bride of Frankenstein in the same faculties as the way that Frankenstein's monster and Frankenstein are used in Seven Soldiers.
Right.
You want her to get all the grimdark agency, like mad science stuff, and then he can be the machismo of the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Right. It's not a DC thing. It's literally the conversation we've been having since the first issue of there are things to compare comics to other than other comics.
Yes. And I actually would prefer, if they're going to do anything that happens to the Seven Soldiers Frankenstein in the DC universe, I would prefer it to happen to Indra Varma. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to see her do that instead. Thank you.
Good choice. Congratulations on making it through 52. I had a great time listening along and got a lot out of a revisit in the decade since I last read 52. I'm wondering what you two have taken away most from this revisit of 52 in its entirety. Thank you for the excellent podcasting. Scruff from Blue Sky.
What is given back to me is a sincere love of just reading anything. Reading any comic book and not feeling like I have to research or only read the good stuff. It just, I have re-enlivened. I'm reading stuff that's current again.
Yeah.
Because I remembered how much fun it was to do it with 52. And it's given me back a love of comics that I didn't even realize that I had not really been engaging in.
What I've gotten out of it is community. So much of what I read in comics is a solitary pursuit or something I share with one other person. But getting to post got 'em every time I see someone's buy a huge ass compendium of 52 is I know that everyone listening to this is reading it along with me. And something I got out of 52 is that I'm friends with Greg Rucka and Mark Waid now. I mean, that's wild to me.
That is the coolest thing for you on a personal level. That you email these people who you used to just admire. But it's also because you are their peer in some ways, at least in your devotion to DC as an entity.
They get it, and they get me the same way I get them. And it's very gratifying. DC Comics has not hired me for anything other than a freelance position, but it's really gratifying to know that I make one of the favorite podcasts of some of my favorite writers. That it makes me feel like I am not an outsider, that I'm part of it.
No, you're not. You are part of this huge community of fans and creators because you've created something.
That has been great to me, and I'm going to keep podcasting about comic books. You can check me out on DC Action News, and I might work on something else with Esper Quinn. We'll figure it out. You haven't heard the last of me. I'll probably barge in on the Aftermath after hours at some point. This is not the end. But yeah, what I got out of it is community, and I'm so happy to have built it around me and be recognized as part of it. Okay. Hi, picker-uppers. The cover of issue 48 is not just my favorite cover from 52, it's one of my favorite comic covers of all time. I actually had the chance to tell J.G. Jones this at a con in 2009, and his reply was surprising. He told me he had to do that cover at the last minute due to some shuffling of storylines, making the original cover unworkable. So he came up with a concept and rendered it in something like a weekend, give or take. It's been 15 years, so my memory of the conversation is imperfect. Anyway, I've been thoroughly enjoying the podcast, and I hope the two of you will continue to collaborate in the future. In any event, thanks for 50 plus hours of thoroughly entertaining conversations. Your ever-ready subscriber, Simon. P.S. I've also attached the sketch I got from JGJ at that 2009 con. And he attached a little sketch of Lockjaw from The Inhumans.
It's
very
so
adorable.
cute. Little puppy Lockjaw with the little tongue out. It's very sweet. It's so wild to learn that about the cover for 48, though, which is also one of our favorite covers.
The Renee Montoya stencil. Yeah.
Yes, which is like a perfect cover. It's like a no notes style cover. Sometimes first thought, best thought, right?
Yeah. It just works. It's just it speaks to his testament to his command of visual language that he was able to do that immediately.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree.
Next question. I just want to thank you both for all the work you've put into a podcast that I wake up excited for every other Wednesday. It's been something to rely on through several big life changes. You've been funny and insightful, and I'm hopeful, as I'm sure others are too, that we'll continue to hear you both talk about comics. Much love. I once was a cat.
I once was a cat. I'll see you in the Discord.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. This was so sweet of you.
Thank you for listening from me and from someone who is currently a cat. Hello, Gita, Esper, and Alex. As always, you do not have to respond to this email. Congratulations on all you've done with the podcast. I hope there are more comic book conversations to come, but if not, I appreciate all the hard work you've done. This has been one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. Additionally, you all have been somewhat of an inspiration to me to take better care of my mental health. I saw reflections of myself through your conversations about neurodivergence topics, and after too many years of dealing with awful anxiety, hearing you talk about challenges gave me the vocabulary and understanding to start speaking more clearly with doctors. My wife and kids helped me with the courage to actually confront these issues with doctors. This past year, I was diagnosed with ADHD. In retrospect, it feels obvious for me. Through medication and therapy, my anxiety is at an all-time low. To be clear, I am not saying 52 Pickup cured my anxiety, but you all helped me along the path to better mental health, at least in part. Completely ditching social media, learning to draw for fun, and eating better were the other big factors. Sincerely, thank you. Wherever and whatever you all do next, I wish you the absolute best. Please take care of yourselves. I will never stop reading comics. I'm ready for whatever comes next. Are you? Love and respect to you all. Brandon F.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. God, this is so sweet. What the fuck? Are you going to make me cry on this podcast? God damn it. No.
We're not throwing these into the void. People are listening to these. We're changing lives.
Oh my God. I'm so glad though. Like nothing is worse than being undiagnosed and having unmedicated ADHD. It sucks so hard. It's awful. Life isn't actually meant to be that hard. And I hope that you're feeling some relief.
Yeah. I'm just glad to hear you're going to keep reading comics. That's my good takeaway.
You're changing lives. You're getting people to spend hundreds of dollars on comic books.
That's all I want. I mean, a DC Universe Infinite subscription is not that much money.
That's true. I do love my DC Universe Infinite subscription.
You got that. You get a Viz subscription, maybe a Global Comics or something. But you got a Stu
jump,
going.
baby. You got a fucking Stu going.
Yeah. Hi, Alex Gita. First off, I love the show. I've been an Aftermath subscriber for a while, but not much of a comics person. Then Superman came out and I wanted to start reading comics. I turned to the one comics podcast I knew of and caught up within a few months. Because of your enthusiasm for both 52 and the medium at large, I find myself with a much deeper appreciation for comics in DC. I started reading comics and have almost literally not stopped since then. My people. Now my question. What should I be looking at to better appreciate and critically engage with comics, especially as someone new to the medium? Is it just time, or is there something else that shaped your understanding of comics as an art form that you might be able to pass on? A second question. The holidays are fast approaching, and it seems like so are holiday specials, things like Halloween and such in this. What do you think makes for a good holiday special versus a bad one? Do you have any recommendations for ones that you've liked? Thank you both so much for introducing me to a deeper world of comics, and congrats on making it to the end of 52, Elsie.
Okay, first one, honestly, you should read criticism of literature. Mm-hmm. Definitely read Ways of Seeing. Criticism of both visual art and literature criticism is really helpful just for understanding all kinds of literature. And the second thing I did, I don't know how many times it took me to really understood what Amber was doing, but literally just read Watchmen. Read it a couple of times.
Read Watchmen once a year. Read Understanding Comics. It's very important to read Understanding Comics.
Oh, yes. Oh, I knew you were going to recommend that one, which is why I didn't say it. But reading Watchmen, and also there is a version of it that comes with a script from Dave Gibbons that has like all of the ridiculous descriptions that Alan Moore was doing. Yeah. It is an instructional text on how comics create impact through words and images. The book itself is a tribute to all kinds of different comics. And the more you know about comics history, the more you'll understand what that book is doing and really what everybody who makes comics has been reacting to since that book came out.
And find a community. There's a great comics channel in the Aftermath Discord. If you give us the money if you subscribe to Aftermath, you should be able to get on that Discord and talk comics with a bunch of cool, interesting, insightful people who value critical thought.
Myself and our good friend, comic books expert Alex Jaffe, occasionally.
Yeah, I'm there on occasion.
Yeah, it's talking to people about comics, reading a lot of comics, and I do think that it's less comic-specific criticism more than just like getting acquainted with criticism of literature, because comics are also literature. Some of them are pulpy, and some of them are comedic, and some of them are less substantial than a really heavy novel. But that doesn't mean that they cannot be analyzed through the same modes of thought that you analyze books with.
Right. One thing I won't recommend is watching YouTube videos about comics.
Absolutely not.
The goddamn comic.
Please do not do that. Absolutely do not do that.
You don't need someone to explain to you what happens in the comic, even though that's what this podcast is. But ideally, you're reading along with us. That's why we give you 2 weeks between each issue.
Exactly.
Right. Hello, Alex and Gita. Been listening since the first episode and been a massive fan. The show really inspired me to get back into reading more comics and talking to more comics writers. Thank you for introducing me to this book. For my question, now at the end of this read-through, has your feelings towards 52 changed at all? Or are you walking away with anything new from it? Thanks, and looking forward to seeing what you all do next. All the best, Evan.
I honestly like it more.
I like it way more now.
I knew that I really loved it, and it was one of my favorite comics. Now it's like, I love it. I love it so much. I like it more than I did before.
The biggest surprise for me, not gonna lie, finding that secret John Ostrander subplot in World War III.
Oh my God. Finding something good about World War III was a revelation.
Mind-blowing, because I have never heard a single good word about this comic because everyone gets caught up in that champagne supernova. I have been trying to work that joke in since we did that episode, and finally here in the last one I did it.
You did it. I was looking for my wedding photos, and I found in my photos app in my phone the screenshot of the screen I was reading that I took to angrily text you about how much I was hating reading Keith Champagne. But no, the last 2 issues are good. Like, the last 2 issues is just John Ostrander waking up from a nap and be like, I don't know, how's this? And it's just amazing.
Dude rules. He's ruled for such a long time. Read Suicide Squad.
Do not count out Touchdown Tom. That's how I feel about John Ostrander. He's still good. He's still got that fucking juice.
All right. Hi, Gita and Alex. First of all, you two are my #1 podcast. It's been great learning so much cool behind-the-scenes information about one of my favorite series. I've been trying to get my friends and family to read 52 ever since I first read the series in high school. However, every time I try to recommend it, whoever I'm talking to ends up confusing it with the new 52, which either leads to them reading the wrong book or losing interest as I try to get into the messy history of DC publishing. My question is, do you run into this problem? And if so, how do you deal with it? Never stop reading comics.
That happened to me when I was trying to describe this podcast on a podcast. I was like, was that like the new 52? And I was like, no. What you have to do is you have to gift someone a copy of it.
Multiple guests we have had on this show thought this show was about the new 52 before we corrected them.
And it's not, you don't want to be reading the new 52. Yeah. So just don't worry about
that.
Some
of the new 52 books are good. I really like Jeff Lemire's Animal Man.
That's really good. Sorry, you can read Jeff Lemire's Animal Man, but not any of the other ones.
Joshua Fialkov's I, Vampire is really good.
Man, they did take some chances with some good ideas because they had to fill out those 52 books that they were told that they needed to have.
It's a law of large numbers. A couple of them are going to be bangers.
Exactly. It's statistics. But I think that if you want someone to read something, you have to give them a copy of it. And then also you have to accept that they might not do it. There's that scene in Nice House by the Lake where they go to the library and it's every book that the alien guy has told them to read that they never read in the library.
Now you have time.
I literally have to think about that when I recommend things to people. And I have to come off as way less gung-ho. If you want someone to read something, start small and give it to them.
My tried and I won't say true method because sometimes it works and sometimes my tried method is I offer a trade. I'll say, hey, I will read or watch something that you want me to do if you read this for me. Usually that ends up in me doing the thing and them not doing it.
That doesn't apply to this relationship at all, does it?
No, I'm talking about other relationships.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes it works. I would literally never ask anyone in my family to read a comic.
No, that's not going to work out well for me. My family barely pays attention to video games, the thing that I've devoted my entire adult professional life to. I'm not going to try to get them to read comics. Sometimes I can get my brother to read a comic because we were both really into manga growing up.
Yeah.
But often it's me saying, look at this cool panel from Chainsaw Man and him being sick. And then we never talking about it again.
Esper is begging me to keep reading Chainsaw Man, but
you should.
I know I should, but
where have you gotten up into where the anime ends?
Yeah, I got up to where the anime ends, and I've gotten this far, and I want to keep doing it with the anime though.
You're not going to see any more episodes of anime for several years, my friend.
Yeah,
and at least go through the end of the Ray's arc.
I just watched the movie.
Okay.
The movie is great.
It's just the end of part 1 has an incredible twist. And Esper and I both want to talk to you about it.
Okay, fine. How about this? I'll watch it if you read a comic I recommend to you after this show.
Oh, one of the several that you've bought me copies of? Yeah, I will. Absolutely. No, I've got the time now.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All the time in the world. Sammy asks, with the loss of a few members of the Great 10, do you think it's time to rebrand them to the Great 6, 7? Thanks, Sammy.
Hang on.
I don't think that's going to make it into the recording.
That was me using the Discord sound effect for
rim shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a nonsense no soap radio meme that Gen Alpha does right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured.
It is.
Okay. Fine. Thank you for writing into our final episode, Sammy. We have one more from Duffy, who says, "Hi, Alex and Gita. It's been great following the book club and reigniting my love of comics this past year. One of the things that drew me into 52 was the focus on periphery characters who usually show up for a cameo or backup stories, never having the focus tell a story about themselves. Does a great job showing how DC is more than just Superman, Batman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, etc., showcasing a whole community of weirdos in their campy world. This series made me a big fan of Booster Gold in particular. What cast of often overlooked characters would you prefer to get a similar treatment, either Marvel or DC? Or do they have to do a thankless job of saving the day while the bigger heroes are indisposed? Looking forward to whatever you both have coming next, Duffy." We did kind of cover this with our 52 pitch, but I don't know. Let's think bigger than DC. Who are your favorite unsung heroes of literature or film?
That's such a huge question. My favorite unsung heroes. Oh, man. I mean, I'm better equipped to answer the question just thinking about Marvel or DC. So there are so few characters that recur that you'd have to think of. We could make in the history of cinema that you could think of side characters they have that you could tell a whole story about. Although I do sometimes wonder what M is doing while James Bond is out shooting people and exploding cars.
Yeah.
What's she up to? Is she just doing administrative stuff? Like
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the one thing I have in common with him is that I think a lot about Mycroft Holmes.
Please go on.
Yeah. He's Sherlock Holmes' smarter brother who just can't be asked to get out of the house.
He's Sherlock Holmes if he wasn't masking all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's I'm going to play my violin while I'm talking to you because it's easier for me to concentrate. Fuck off.
Right. Yeah. Just full autism mode 100% of the time.
Yes, I know. Okay, fair. I think a Mycroft Holmes movie would be really, really fun.
Yeah.
I want to see Cassie Sandsmark get a chance.
It's her
to
time.
Do something. It is
Bring
her time.
back.
And like,
bring back the real Cassie Sandsmark.
Is like completely correct for the real Cassie Sandsmark. A thankless task where she gets to be smug about it. That would be so much fun for her.
God, I miss her so bad.
She's just a loser now. It sucks.
One of the big things I got out of 52. One of the big things I got out of this podcast was reading through all of Young Justice for the first time.
I'm so happy you did that because it's great and it's super
fun. It is great.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
So much of that cast is the answer to that question for me.
Yeah.
Secret does not need any more thankless tasks. Let's be real. Give her a task with lots of thanks.
Arrowhead is done. The cool thing about Arrowhead is that you don't have to give her any more tasks.
I would love for her to be the civilian friend of Cassie in a book where she has to take over for one of the big three, you know?
Yeah.
Where Cassie helps her work through mysteries and jog her memory, but she really is doing it as a friend, not as a member of her superhero team, because she doesn't want to do that anymore.
All right. Well, that's everything, I guess. I think that's all she wrote. We're going to keep reading. If you want to get in touch with us, I'm on Blue Sky, alexjaffe.bisky.social. I'm in the official DC Discord. I am ready and willing to talk comics with you at any time. I don't read Marvel.
I am less accessible by choice, but I'm always, if I'm reading something really interesting, I'll write about it on my website, aftermath.site.
Yeah.
I have social medias of various degrees of availability, and if it's XOXO Gossip Gita, XOXO Gossip Gita, that's me. Probably most active on Instagram at this point. My Instagram stories. I love Instagram stories.
That's very fair.
Yes. But yeah, this podcast will live forever. And thank you so much for being on this journey with us. I'm very proud of it.
I'm so happy we got to do this. And I'm as bittersweet as it is to call it a wrap. 52 is magical because it's not infinity.
Yeah.
It's a concrete high number. And it's a lofty goal that many would call impossible, but a handful of iconoclasts achieved it back in 2006, and here we are trying to do the same.
Yeah. History doesn't repeat, but it sometimes rhymes. And here we
Thanks,
are.
George.
Thanks, George. Right. Well, Alex, do you want to do the honors of asking the question that we ask at the end of the episode every single time?
It would be my pleasure.
Thank you.
And this is my question, not for you, Gita, but for you listening to this podcast right now, as you put away your giant ass volume of 52 Omnibus and put it on your IKEA bookshelf, buckling under the weight, as Gita can see behind me literally right now. It's time for me to ask you, as you go forward into your lifelong journey, where you will, if I have anything to say about it, never stop reading comics. What I have to ask you is, are you ready?
Pickup is an Aftermath production created by Gita Jackson and Alex Jaffe and edited by Esper Quim with original music by John Aaron. Hosting for 52 Pickup is provided by Insert Credit. The views and opinions expressed on this show are solely those of the show's personalities and do not reflect those of DC Entertainment or Warner Brothers. Please rate and review our show wherever you can and send your questions and comments to 52mailbag@gmail.com. Never stop reading comics.